Good morning. Good morning. Oh, wow. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Depends on when you're watching it. But you know what? Technology, love it. I'm trichologist Lisa Ackberry, your hair doctor, and I am so excited to be here with you today. We're going to have a great, outstanding show. We're going to talk about Kerry, Washington. That's right. We're going to do a little bit of celebrity here. Kerry, Washington. Oh my goodness. And she is actually back. And oh my goodness. Okay, let me put this on. That's right. Not just pause, but I'm going to put it on where I can just take that way you guys can keep listening. My chat room is open. I'm here in the WDI studios and iHeartRadio. I'm trichologist Lisa Ackberry. And for the next 60 minutes, it depends on if you email me, I am going to be your hair doctor. And I'm going to talk to you about hair and all the things that you have. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your hair and tell me, just kind of help you out with some of those questions that you may have. My chat room is open. You can always email me in my chat room. If you go to YouTube and type in Lisa Ackberry, then you will be able to get the show. You'll get me and you can chat with me. Or you can email me, lisa@lisaackberry.com. If it's Sunday, we recorded the show this Sunday already, and I'm just welcoming you to the show. I'm not doing the call-in today, but you can email me, and I'll be more than happy email you back with some answers. That's right. So welcome to the show. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, I'm trichologist Lisa Ackberry. And basically, some of you just wonder what trichology is all about. Trichology is the science and study of hair, its diseases, and its disorders. No, I am not a medical doctor. I'm a trichologist, and I'm going to help you with the problems that you have with your hair and scalp. And I can speak with authority on because it's so crucial that we get the correct answers. I want to actually thank our YouTubers out there and the folks who are out there trying to find answers and trying to just kind of help themselves. I think the community at large, we have been out there trying to come up with answers to a lot of these important questions about our hair and our scalp. And I think one of the things that has kind of gotten a few people in trouble with their hair is believing can else like myself who this is you speaking, that does not really know as much about hair, but they have a good hair experience with some of the things they've tried. The problem with that is if you're not sure what is going on with your own hair and scalp, it's going to be a little bit challenging to see if that particular thing that you're trying, like that, say something like co-washing, no pooing, and apple cider vinegar and bentonite clay and some of the things that protective styles, some of the things that we put out there, some of them are just wrong. They're like what I call an accident waiting to happen. Some of them just are if you don't use them right for your hair, it does not work. So that is my duty as a professional, being in the cosmetology field for many years, and as a trichologist for many years as well. I feel it's really important that I give back. And I have patients who come into my institute and for a hair analysis. I have students that come into my school that just have a lot of questions and they are getting educated on the proper way to handle their hair, if they're a student, to work with their clients. It's been a great experience. So this is why I'm here each and every week right here in the WDA studios and iHeart Radio. Wasn't last week fun? I was on vacate last week, vacation. And yeah, and I decided I'm going to do my show from there. So it was great to you are on the radio and you're listening and tuning in, be sure to go to my YouTube page and just look at some of my past shows, and you'll be able to see some of the things. It's just been really super, super great. Okay, so we're going to get to the show. We're also going to talk about students. We're going to talk about back to school students. And anytime I do this, I date my shows, but that's okay. No worries. College students. I think that a lot of students, there's kind of this transition between when you are in high school and grade school and all that, and your parents are kind of helping you out with your hair a little bit, or at least they're watching some of what you do and they can put the brakes on some of this stuff. But when you go off to college, it gets to be kind of like, okay, I can get away with this. And I'm going to do what I want to with my hair. And again, I meet all kinds of parents, and a lot of times these parents are like, well, you know what? No worries, fine, whatever. But some cases we have parents in situations where they're really not able to control their student, and the student's really, really, really doing a lot of bad things to their hair. And they come into my institute with their child or their teenager, and either they're in high school and they're saying, well, hey, she's lost hair, she's got chronic itch, what do I do? Or they're in a situation where they're trying to go off to college and they're not able to they're scared that the child is going to lose hair when they go off to college. So we're going to talk about that. Protective styles. We're going to talk about all these things. You guys, I'm slowing down a little bit here because I'm seriously trying to find online. And it's, thank you. You just, gotta love this technology. Oh my goodness. It drives me crazy. Okay. All right. So let's see. So I'm trying to get into my just so I can because I made myself a nice little neat little outline of my show today, because it just really helps. And now a lot of that stuff is just missing in action. So right before I went on air, everything just seem to have just moved around, and it's like, okay, wait a minute. You know how when you have your screen, it's just kind of, I know I'm just killing time while I fix it. Your screen, and you're typing, and you're just like, yay, I'm all prepared, I'm all ahead of myself. And then boom. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, everything lost. Well, the difference in what happened to me today is that I was trying to go on air. I had like a minute, and I'm like, oh Lord, okay, be anxious for nothing, through prayers, supplication, pleading. So I think I'm just about there. So guys, bear with me on this. I appreciate you guys, and I love you so much. If you have some questions for me in my chat room, we'll start with those questions. And as I get myself together, my goodness, as I get myself together and get back to Kerry Washington, she's got the curls, and they are back and more gorgeous than ever. So I'm really excited to talk to you about Kerry Washington and her curls and her fabulous husband, and a couple of things that you don't know about her. So, because, maybe you do know, because you guys are better than I am online. The cool thing is, if I'm going to mention her name, my tags and things like that, a little bit about her, spend a little more time on Kerry Washington. I'm also going to talk today about transplants. So folks out there who, I've had tons of questions about transplants, but yeah, I'm going to talk about that. That's going to be really, really important. You see, I've got my sunglasses still on. I got my hair pulled back. If you are tuning in live on YouTube and you're wondering, is she's gonna do her hair. Yes, I'm gonna do my to make sure you see how wonderfully flexible, how soft, how wonderful our hair is and can be if we do what we need to do with our hair. So care of it, in other words. If we protect it, we preserve it, we do what we need to do. So I'm going to do that as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. But let's see if you guys, because I promised you, since I had all these delays, if you had any questions for me, that I was going to start with chat. So I said hello. No one has any questions so far. Or maybe somebody's trying to. Yeah, okay. Well, I will come back and check in just a minute. Let's see if I've got, might have one here. We've got some folks logging in. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so patient with me. Okay, let's get to Kerry Washington and her curls. I mean, Essence reported on this, and I look, and I have a wonderful folks on my team that helps me with a lot of my research. But she's got a lot going on, and pretty much pull off any look imaginable. I mean, it's just no debate about that. Kerry Washington, she's fabulous. And what I love about her is that she just plows full speed ahead. Essence talked about my shampoo one year, talking about how it's a great clarifier, and I was really appreciative of that. And so I have Kerry Washington because it was in that article that was in that edition. It was my food clarifying shampoo, pH 5.5, all those good things. So how blessed am I to have that? But anyway, Kerry Washington is she's a fabulous individual, and she's definitely true to form. Her hair, her natural curls are just great, and she does some added hair as well. And so she can do all of that. But what I love is that she rocks her natural curl. And she has this beautiful, you have to go on essence.com and see her in this denim dress. And she's got this beautiful hair with this whimsical look. It's like her curls are there, but it's like my favorite because she has this whimsical look, and it just kind of gives it that it's tousled and it's all pretty, and she just does all kinds of cool things with it. So I wanted to talk about the look that she has. The look that Kerry Washington has is, like I said, is more of a frizzy fro. It has it has some definition to some of the curls. Some of the curls are just frizz. It looks really, really what you would think is that tussle. I just got up, but because I'm so gorgeous and I just threw on a little bit of lipstick and dusted my face, I look great. And threw on a denim dress, by the way. And I'm Kerry Washington. But anyways, let's talk about how to get this look, because I think that's what you want to know. And I feel like that's my contribution to you. She's got her natural look, beautiful. 2 ways. 3 ways, actually. 1, you can do a wig. You can get a wig to look just like this. Now, how do you do this? You have a wig that has the defined curls, because you're going to need that. So you have an afro wig that have the defined curls. Then every other section, like you take 1-inch sections of that natural wig, and then you just take 1 inch that you leave in the defined curls, and then you take, and this is a wig, don't do this with your hair, but then you take the next section of defined curls and you start separating them with your fingers, and then you take a comb and you start teasing them out. So that way it gives that cushion over the defined curls. So, and then you make sure that some of the ends look straight. And so that gives you, so you got to do that over the entire head. So you have defined curls, frizz, defined curls, frizz. So when you finish, you kind of fluff it up and you move it over the head. And now you've got this whimsical frizzy fro natural look that Kerry Washington have. That's with the wig. The next way is with weave. You can do the same with weave. You get the defined curls, the gem weave, then you have to understand that before you wet that hair, after you do the fluffing and separating with your fingers and teasing every other section. And we're speaking of, like, say if you got a 1-inch section that's defined, underneath it you got a 1-inch section that's you're going to tease out if you want lots of frizz. Other than that, you would have a 2-inch section that's defined, and then the next section would be 1 inch that's frizzed out, you tease out. Now, the difference is with the weave, because it's sewn to your scalp and it is so-called protective style, then you want to make sure that you take your weave and you want to make sure that you smooth it through. I have a product called Hair Vitamin, and detangle that frizz part before you wet it, because if you don't, it's going to lock up against your scalp and it's going to be a problem. So that's the second way you can get that look that Kerry Washington have. And your own hair. Now with your own hair, you've got to do this. You have to take your hair and twist it. I have a product called Hair Vitamin that I would highly recommend you twist with. And then I have a product called Moisture Plus Moisturizer on my website that I will recommend. Once you twist with those two, and why didn't I say the naturally textured? Because the naturally textured is got strong definition. It's definition, but you want the kind that you can really kind of frizz up. So you're going to do the same thing, but you're not going to tease. Remember, do not tease your own hair, because teasing the hair creates microscopic tears on the hair shaft. So don't tease. So Kerry Washington's look is gorgeous. And if this is her hair, then you need to do this by plaiting your over, or you can flat twist all over. And once you do that, if you do flat twists, you need to make sure that you don't want any parts, and it's going to be harder to remove them if you're not careful. But if you plait, you get the box plaits, and you just put plaits all over. So you want to do about 20-25 plaits. And if you're going to flat twist it, you need to do at least 15 of them, so the parts are kind of close together. And then for that, it depends on how big your head is, depends on how much hair you have, that kind of thing. And then from there, once you take them down, twisting or plaiting in your Hair Vitamins and your Moisture Plus, and once you take them down, then you're ready. At that point, you're ready to separate the curls. You take them down, called oil sheen in a jar. Highly recommend it. Love it, love it, love it. And you're just reversing them, and then you're going to take them and you're going to smooth through them, every other section, every other plait, and you're smoothing through them and separating the curls. Now you're doing right when you take it down, because that way those curls will dry a little bit more in a slight frizz. The curls that you do not separate and touch, they'll dry with definition. Beautiful. And at night you just have to retwist or replait, and you've got the Kerry Washington beautiful, gorgeous curls. Yay, 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 yay. Now, we're not going to talk about who she's married to, this handsome young Nigerian, but we know that she's doing okay. She's got a couple of kids. They're together. They're just doing great. And I am very proud of Kerry Washington. Also, when she wears wigs, a lot of wigs, make sure that you're using a clean treatment turban under those wigs. Email me if you don't know what kind of turban to use under those wigs, but make sure you do so. Okay, we've got. All right, first we have, hello, I know you like to finger detangle, but is it okay to use a soft bristle brush? This is from Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Okay, you said, is it okay to use a soft bristle to lay down the hairline? You call it edges, I call it hairline. I know it's the same thing. Okay, lay down before you put your scarf on. It's not okay, Nicole, and let me tell you why. Because when you lay down your hairline or use a bristle brush, even if it's soft, you've got to remember, you've always heard me say microscopic tears. Microscopic tears are just that. They're so small and minute, you can't see them. The danger to microscopic tears is they create poor elasticity and moisture level issues, so porosity issues. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't create them, and the way them is by eliminating things like the brush. This is what you want to do, Nicole. You want to take your finger and you want to put the moisturizer on your finger and use something called like the naturally texture, like my product that's really dense. And you want to, and I have a product called Mud too, which is really outstanding. It's like it's like it's sculpting for the natural hair, and you smear it on. And then once you smear it on, you tie the hairline down, and you won't have any issues with it. I promise you. Even if you tie it down for a few minutes with the scarf, it'll still lay down. You just don't need the brush. We're hooked on the brush. We were raised with the brush. We love the brush, but the brush, notice the hairs in the brush. Even that little small one, if you use a little small bristle, soft bristle, you'll notice little tiny time. So be careful. Hopefully, I have another one. It's from Simply Christy. She said, can you make a video about perimenopausal or menopausal in general and how it affects your hair and scalp? Because my scalp has changed since I told my doctor I'm going through the change. Whoo, I tell the change. Lord, Lord, thank you, Jesus. Okay, my scalp is very sensitive to scents now. Okay, so let's do this. Send me an email, Simply Christy, and what I'm going to do is just that. I'm going to do a video on this, and we're also going to do a show on it so we can talk about it. Thank you. I love you for that one, because so many women are going through perimenopause